Okay guys, so Riot Games decided to release on their YouTube account a video related to Arcane. As you can see, looking back, episode 1, there are gonna be 2 more episodes as far as I remember. No views 1 minute ago. I'm gonna be the first one on the planet to watch it. Realistically, I'm not gonna be. If you're wondering, why are they releasing the video only now? Wasn't this one supposed to be released on the 10th? Well, yeah, but for some reason they decided to reschedule. I don't know why, but let's get into it. Arcane, looking back, alright. Untold stories. Okay, so that means
something quite cool.
10 more scenes.
Hyper punchy.
Episode 2 was one of these episodes where we wanted to try some new stuff, you know, some new style and everything. And Jinx built a new arm for Sevika.
Yep. You can play the part whenever she builds the arm,
you know, and so
in
we
League.
came up with this gigantic arm out of proportion.
Yeah,
Fighting,
it's a
also
pretty cool
another character, which is Smitch.
weapon.
For that specific sequence, we had Marietta, the episode director of this episode, who tried to bring like a lot of fun aspects and comedy aspects.
Dans le scénario, il y avait une chorégraphie qui existait. De là est venue cette idée de bras fanfare qui en fait n'était pas dans le script. On a fait des designs, on les a pitchés donc à Riot et ils se sont dit ah, c'est rigolo, on a envie de voir ce que ça donne, donc allez-y. On a créé toute cette chorégraphie autour de ce bras. Le storyboarder va ajouter en fait sa mise en scène, des choses aussi qui sont ajoutées par les animateurs.
All the craziness of Jinx is put in that arm.
So, with 40... Okay, I'm gonna pause the video here and there because I have to give my takes. Something we all know, Fortiche adding their own things within the animation, their own ideas, and I think that's really good. That's a really good aspect, the freedom they have whenever they are animating Arcane, right? Or whenever they were animating Arcane. Future shows in 5 years, who knows?
We have some fireworks. We have this gigantic crocodile claws at the end. We have these punching gloves. The idea was to make this arm special and make sure it's clear that Jinx did it.
Et en fait, cette séquence, elle est à l'image des émotions de Jinx.
In terms of art direction, we went for something a little less realistic and a little more crazy, inspired by the video game aspect.
Yeah, makes sense.
Tout est possible avec ce bras et toujours traité à la Jinx, c'est-à-dire en mode graffiti, dessiné, hyper badass, hyper punchy. Il y a quelque chose de très enfantin. Le résultat final, avec un côté foisonnant de créativité, il est le résultat en fait de ce travail d'équipe.
I think we came up with something quite cool and very much different from most of the work we've done before.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool gun. If you remember in the show, Sevika removes the gambling aspect.
We're going to talk about bits of Arcane that we may have left on the cutting room floor.
Am I just me? Or is it just me? Or is Alexei not actually present in a lot of interviews? Maybe recently he was part in more interviews than before? But yeah, not as much as Christian Link, that's for sure.
There was a world where Vi and Jinx were sort of swapped. Vi and Powder go to rescue Vander and everything kind of falls apart. But after that, it was Vi who fell under Silco's sway and Powder vanished. Your guess is about as good as mine past that point, but it did have a different spin on things. It was like a Vi who had become the role of Sevika.
Yeah, this is also in the art book.
This like wild, unpredictable kind of chaos agent. And so there was sort of this thing of like Vi on one half of the city and Caitlyn on the other half of the city were sort of like trying to wrestle with this new threat and also being drawn together, I suppose, in that process. Where was she in the interim? She was recognized and taken for tutelage by Victor before Victor went robot, I suppose.
Okay.
There is something...
I thought she went to Bilgewater.
...vulnerable in the relationship between Jinx and
Or that's
Silco
another
as
version.
two people who, you know, through very, very deep trauma, lost a North Star. That was a much richer story, despite how fun it is to watch Vi punch things. Just might have to be something for next time. Vander and Silco. There's always a lot of interest in what happened, you know? We had a bit of headcanon for what it was that they did. One specific take that we had for it was that there was this trio in the olden days, you know, Benzo and Vander and Silco. They were rough around the edges, and Piltover was a place with a lot of cautious regulation. The way they funded this dream of theirs was, well, they knew the tunnels really well, so they could smuggle things around. They did a little bit of smuggling in order to, you know, pay the bills. Benzo got caught doing this. This was at a point where Piltover wanted to make an example of him. This thing with Benzo forced Silco and Vander to say, like, you know, should we stop acting like criminals? You know, should we act like citizens? The people from the Undercity were never going to be seen as equal. And I think that just struck a nerve with Silco. And despite the fact that the really important agreement between him and Vander ahead of time was that this was going to be peaceful and this was going to be done right, Silco knew he was going to rescue Benzo no matter what. Vander, after specifically losing people that he did see as family, and I think, you know, the most gut-wrenching part of it was Vi and Powder, and, you know, having to somehow try to explain to them why their parents who followed him weren't coming back. It made it that he had the same reaction that Silco had, you know? I think that the bottled up frustration was more than he could deal with, and he turned on him, and that's why I think in that third episode, it's a genuine apology.
Okay, I knew about the fact that Benzo got caught up in some of those dealings because one of the writers, Amanda Overton, mentioned it at one point, if I remember correctly. But it's interesting the way he presented the entire, basically, story of how it happened here. I like it a lot. Honestly, this is so cool.
Initially, we wanted Piltover to have a secret, and we wanted Piltover to have kind of its own Silco. At the end of episode 4, we had this idea that, you know, Silco has taken over the lanes.
Yeah.
He's using Shimmer. Piltover doesn't seem to know what to do with it. And he goes to a place that he seems like an odd duck or a sore thumb, a Piltovian bathhouse. In the Piltovian bathhouse, there is a woman for whom nothing less than luxury could possibly match or become her. She's just lounging there, and he's standing like above. That doesn't suit her, so she says, get in. He meets her halfway, and he sits at the edge of the pool and dunks his feet in, and she smiles, and then they have a conversation. And there was a touch to this smell that I liked quite a bit, which was that, so she loved these puzzle boxes that, you know,
Wait a
the
second.
most brilliant Piltovian.
What?
Could possibly thumb. A Piltovian seemed to know what to do with it, and he goes to a place that
Silco goes to that place?
like an odd duck or a sore thumb, a Piltovian bathhouse. In the Piltovian bathhouse, there is a woman for whom nothing less than luxury could possibly match or become her. She's just lounging there, and he's standing like above. That doesn't suit her.
That's crazy. So
he meets her halfway, and he sits at the edge of the pool and dunks his feet in, and she smiles, and then they have a conversation. And there was a touch to this smell that I liked quite a bit, which was that, so she loved these puzzle boxes that, you know, the most brilliant Piltovian artisans would craft. It's a game, but it's also a prize, because if you can figure out how to, like, get to the core, there would always be a surprise. So that was a take on Mel, capitalizing on sort of like similar qualities with her, of just sort of like the poise, the grace, the diplomacy. She came out the better for it. It's always much more interesting to see someone who wants to be a hero and comes from a world where villains are tolerated, but refuses, I guess, to let that become just the way of doing things. There are a lot of people, I think, who reach out, and to every single person who has made any effort to contact us, because I know there are a lot of dead ends and tricky things. It's so deeply appreciated, and truthfully, like, there's nothing that fuels us, I think, like that. So thank you.
The fight between Jinx and Echo on the bridge, it was the most
they got Jinx, huh?
I'd ever seen visually. It's so compelling, and the storytelling is also immaculate.
金克斯拿了一个蓝色的这个信号枪，高高的举在底层的这个平台上。
I'm also part of this video, by the way, guys.
男孩子就在家里
Of course.
哭，这就是我。
On voit Jinx, on voit ses longues tresses, du coup c'est le moment où elle est adulte. Et c'est le moment où personnellement j'ai eu encore plus d'accroche sur le personnage.
Les graphismes, ils sont géniaux. Les graphismes, il y avait tellement de détails.
Dla mnie najważniejszą sceną w Arcane jest scena herbatki rodzinnej, spécifiquement linijka Are We Still Sisters? Moi, c'est quand j'ai découvert Vi et comment le personnage a été développé au cours de la série.
The most boring characters in Arcane, by the way.
Un personnage fort comme ça, un personnage féminin très fort, un peu brut, je trouve ça vraiment incroyable, on n'en voit pas beaucoup.
Der Moment, in dem man sieht, wie Jinx schießt und die Emotionen, den Terror, als Caitlyn schreit mit der ganzen Musik, einfach die Atmosphäre. Ich konnte es einfach sehr lange nicht mehr vergessen.
Wait a second, that shirt is pretty cool. Oh! Are they selling that?
Vergessen.
在我看到皮城还有祖安被那么形象的去刻画在一个动画里面的时候，就会让我感到非常的震撼。
Episode 7 in Season 2 is by far my favorite. The dance scene with Echo and Powder, and just Echo realizing what he could have had in that alternate universe, and then still choosing to go back to fight for his universe, even though there was absolutely nothing making him go back. And in fact, even people encouraging him to stay. It was just so powerful.
I think I gotta hand it to Jason Victor's reunion at the very last episode of Season 2. It's just such a beautiful scene, especially like with all the animation, the combination of 2D and 3D.
Predictably, Victor's whole arc was very important to me, and like the last scene with Jace. Being disabled was part of him, and it was never an issue. It was just who he is as a person.
J'ai beaucoup aimé la scène où on suit le parcours de Jace quand il touche littéralement le fond du trou, lorsqu'il est transporté dans cet univers parallèle.
Dark
il doit
Souls.
apprendre, du coup, à se reconstruire après avoir tout perdu et comprendre enfin la conséquence de ses actes et de ses actions par rapport à la magie, au hexcore.
Thank you guys for being such an amazing
Wait,
community.
what? Where is the video from a fan in Romanian, guys? Actually, okay, guys, I know you're messaging me all the time, the people from Riot Games. I'm gonna participate in one of these videos, and I'm gonna record a message in Romanian related to Arcane. Message me again. I might see it. After I respond to this moron friend of mine who's been messaging me for the past 5 minutes. Anyways, let's continue.
Accepting, you guys are amazing, and I love seeing all your cosplays all the time. You guys are amazing.
我想说，谢谢你们给金克斯设计了这么多造型，然后并且让一些造型体现到了游戏当中，然后让他有了更多好看的皮肤。希望以后还能。
Yeah, the nicest skin is the one which is $250, by the way.
更多好看的皮肤，希望以后还能给他出更多的皮肤。
More skins which are not $250. Anyways, pretty cool first episode. This part is definitely very intriguing. Did I not understand it correctly?
Taking over the lanes.
I mean, I'm watching this the third time.
Doesn't seem to know what to do with
it.
And he goes to a place that.
Okay, so he goes to that place. He meets Mel.
A Piltovian bathhouse. In the Piltovian bathhouse, there is a woman for whom nothing less than luxury could possibly match.
So there was a storyline where he met Mel. I wonder what that was about. Of course, scheming, allowing him to do whatever he wants in the Undercity, while he doesn't touch anything in Piltover, stuff like that probably. Either way, Very good episode. I am kind of... Well, I am intrigued for the second one. Of course, also for the Arcane celebrations in League of Legends. By the way, guys, I spoke earlier about the Jinx fixes everything minigame, I think. Either way, that one you can play in the League Wiki, right? On the official League Wiki, you can play that. It was previously in the client, in the League of Legends client, but now it's in the wiki, you can play it. I think it's a pretty good minigame. You'll find a bunch of lore elements and stuff related to the show. Stuff that is basically off-screen, but is also part of the season. Either way, with that being said, thanks for watching and, of course, subscribe.